Hi everyone, today I'm going to talk about an American comedy called Big Stan, where are spoilers ahead, so watch out. Stan Milton is a real estate agent living in Los Angeles, who has everything he needs to live. He is rich and has a beautiful wife Mindy, whom he loves, and a job he loves, in which he cheats on paperwork and scams gullible old ladies. So one day he is arrested for cheating and found guilty. The man faces at least 3 years in prison. Through a lawyer, he bribes the judge, but the conviction is only postponed for 6 months. After the hearing, the lawyer suggests that Stan leave the country and not come back, but Stan's money is frozen and he has no choice but to serve his time. He goes to a restaurant to get a good meal, because he knows the food in prison is bad. Mindy suggests that he have a baby, so what she won't be alone when the man goes to prison. But Stan thinks the idea is absurd. He doesn't want children, so he scares the girl what her beautiful life will change because of childbirth. She will become ugly, she will have no free time, and what she will have to give to baby up for adoption when Stan comes back. Sad girl leaves the restaurant, and Stan, continuing his binge, goes to the bar, where he notices a man with a prison tattoo. He asks him for advice about prison life and offers him money for it. The biker asks what kind of prison he has to go to. He tells him what prison guards usually don't care about prisoners, that fights are common there, and that Stan will probably be raped. The man is terrified. Biker offers him possible ways out, but they all involve making him a perfect target. The next morning, Stan wakes up with a hangover, thinking it was all a scary dream. But Mindy tells him it's true and he is going to jail in 6 months. The man despairs, but the girl encourages him and tells him that he always finds a way out, and now he will. This inspires Stan, and he realizes that he will do anything to avoid his fate. Stan begins to work out, gets intim arteria tattoos, and enrolls in a karate class, but without noticing any progress in his training, the man breaks down and is shamefully kicked out. At this point, he meets an old man by punching a hole in a wall of bricks. Stan brings him home to start training, but Mindy doesn't like his decision, as the old man has made a bad impression on her. In the morning, blood drips down Stan's face. The man wakes up and sees the master holding a piece of raw meat. He forces Stan to give up his old food completely and begins harsh training. The rookie is beaten with a burning stick and suspended by his skin on ropes. Mindy sees the bullying and asks Stan to get rid of him. At night, Stan wakes the girl and tells her that burglars have broken into the house. They have killed the master and are about to enter this room. She fears the worst, but Stan tells her that he was joking and said it so what she would understand how he feels right now. The girl gets angry and leaves Stan. The master says that the real training is about to begin for him. Stan works without rest and makes significant progress. With an exam, he finds his karate coach, provokes, and wins a fight. Stan is ready to do his time, and the next day he sets off to serve his time. Mindy secretly escorts him out. He is taken to jail on a bus. One of the guys starts harassing Stan, but is slapped on the face in response and ordered not to talk to him without permission. They are greeted by the warden. He says he expects only one thing from them, that the prisoners don't give him any trouble. For the rest, he does not care what they do to each other. An inspection of the new arrivals ensues, during which the guards are horrified by Stan's ass. I haven't figured out why myself. Stan enters the cell and forcibly takes his neighbor's top bunk, but immediately gives it back as soon as he finds out what he was doing in it. He learns what faction are in prison and who the other inmates are afraid of. Stan provokes the big guy into a fight, attracting the attention of the crowd. He beats him up, but other inmates stand up for the man, and Stan has to fight them as well. Afterwards, he breaks the ringleader's teeth and asks him not to come after him anymore. The warden notices this and calls Stan into his office. Turns out he knew about Stan's was a talented realtor and had deliberately pushed the buttons to get him sent to his prison. He makes an offer. If Stan helps him with his real estate project, the warden will let him out early. Stan agrees. The inmates do not give up trying to get even with the man. They attack him in the shower, but the man fights back with homemade soap nunchucks. Stan misses his wife. A lawyer informs him that Mindy has not signed the divorce papers. She still loves him, and Stan writes her a letter saying he understands her and asks for her forgiveness. While working on the warden's project, he hears him talking and realizes that the prison is planning to be demolished. Stan decides to make a change in the prison life of the inmates. He forbids them for fights, raping other inmates, and urges them to lead a peaceful life. Otherwise, he will stand up for those who have been wronged. The prisoners are unhappy with their circumstances, but accept them. In the prison begins an era of peace. Inmates from different groups play basketball together, celebrate birthdays, dancing and enjoying life. The warden sees the idyll and realizes that his plan to demolish the prison is in jeopardy. He threatens Stan and warns him that a commission is coming the next day. He will hand out the inmates' weapon and will provoke a massacre. If everything works out the way he wants, the prison will fall into his hands and he'll be able to build a commercial project on the side, and Stan will get an early release. Otherwise, his companion, a martial arts master, kills Stan. Stan takes the deal and announces to the coast that his rules are overridden. Immediately, a fight breaks out between the inmates, and the warden is relieved to see it happen. Stan's neighbor says he is disappointed in him, but Stan grabs his hand and warns him not to go out in the yard tomorrow. Commission day arrives. Stan stays in his cell during the walk and goes to his release hearing. Everything goes well and he may be released today, but Stan realizes he is responsible for his comrades and can't let them fall prey to the warden. He disrupts his hearing, gnaws out the guard and runs to save the situation. His path is blocked by the warden's companion. It turns out that he, too, was trained by the master, but Stan manages to overpower him. The prisoners are given weapons and they attack each other in routes. The warden orders the guard to get ready to shoot. Stan bursts in a shot for the prisoners to stop, but the inmates only pretended to scuffle. The music comes on and everyone starts dancing in scene. The spectacle only gives pleasure to the commission, but the chief in anger orders guards to open fire. The guards refuse to do so, so he pulls his weapon and starts shooting. Stan says it's over, but the warden points the weapon at him. The gun is knocked out by Mindy, who has been training with the master the whole time. Toward the end, Stan does his time and says goodbye to his comrades. The warden is locked up in his own prison. The sun shines and his beloved wife and daughter greet him. Thanks for watching. I hope you found it interesting. If so, please like it and let me know what movie you'd be interested in seeing next time. All the best!